Alright. You guys and gals have graciously informed me that I missed a couple things. There were also a lot of really helpful tips on alternative ways to complete these challenges. So if you had any trouble with the way I showed, please look at the comments section, because we do have some very knowledgeable and helpful people hanging out in there. But anyway, I consulted some online guides and cracked a couple dozen more Rivens, and I think this will conclude the rest of the difficult challenges. So here's part 2. Kill 9 enemies with headshots from at least 75 meters away. I'm going to show 2 methods for this. I'm sure there are more. My favorite method is definitely Site 09. As I'm sure you can tell, I've invested practically nothing into his build. To be honest with you, I've never been a huge fan of his playstyle, but after this, maybe I'll give him another shot. The only thing that's going to matter for this build in this application is that we have at least 75 meters of range on his first ability. Here's the build for his neutralizer, which we're going to be using for this. Again, no investment. Alright, what we're going to do is hop in the archwing and then set a waypoint somewhere where we know there are enemies so we can tell how far away they are. I know we have 87 meters of range on his first ability, so we're going to make sure we're just a little bit closer than that. Then we're going to cast his 1, followed by his 4 to pull out his neutralizer. This highlights the enemy's heads for us, so all we got to do is shoot them. Boom. The second method I tested was with Haro, using his first ability to hold the enemies in a position where their heads were exposed. You don't need anything fancy for this, just make sure you got a little bit of duration. For the weapon, I'm using an Arca Sizzo, but any sniper rifle will do fine. I decided to go with an acuity build for this. So the way we do this is mark an enemy, cast our 1 on him, hop in the archwing, make sure we're 75 meters away, and then shoot. Yeah, Site 09 is much better. You have to move really quick for this to work, so I'm looking forward to seeing the comments on this one. Quads. Greatest weapon of all time. Just kidding. Catch 1 fish, mine 1 gem or metal, and kill 1 enemy in 30 seconds while alone or in solo mode. I'm also gonna pretend like we have the undetected modifier. So, Loki is the one. Or Ash would be fine. Any invisible frame will work. So when we load in, we're gonna run straight to the lake directly in front of us. Then we're gonna pull out our drill so we can find some ore. There we are. Don't forget where that's at. Now we're gonna pull out our spear and throw in some luminous dye into the lake. Almost immediately we've got a fish. Snag him. Then we quickly need to pull out the drill, mine this ore. Don't do the minigame, just mine it. Go invisible and find an enemy as fast as you can. Done. Okay, I actually like the Kuva Brock. Find 4 caches without failing a mission. I also had with an active pet modifier as well. Grab any warframe you like and head to Cervantes on Earth. Lua Exterminate is also a good option. We're looking for lockers that glow white instead of red or green. They also emit this sound. Alright, now we just need to find 3 more. Do be aware though that only 3 spawn per mission, so we're gonna have to do a second mission to find the last one. Also be aware that these things can spawn anywhere on the map, so you gotta check every nook and cranny.
You found a second cache. My readings indicate 1 more.
Alright, that's the last one. but because I have the modifier without failing a mission, I need to actually go to extraction. Otherwise, I would just go ahead and quit. As a side note, while I was looking for these caches, I discovered this room. You guys ever seen this before? I am certain I'm just late to the party, but this was a cool discovery to me. Alright, that's number 4. So now we're just gonna finish out this mission and then extract.
I'm detecting 2 more faint hints. Remove the biocatalyst.
Also, if you come across this tile, always make sure you check down this little hole over here. Alright, I've been meaning to test out the incursion for this one, so maybe I'll do that now. Kill 10 wild animals with a fishing spear. I have opened over 100 Rivens and have never seen this one. Also, this is terrible. We're gonna grab one of our invisible frames and also make sure that we have a fishing spear equipped in our gear wheel. And if you have the pet modifier, make sure you have a Kubro or a Kavat with you. Everything I read claims that this will not work in the Orb Vallis, so make sure you head to the plains of Eidolon. Now use the Trank rifle to find either a Kuwaka or a condroc. We're gonna go invisible so they don't see us, which will allow us to take our time lining up our shot. Now pull out your fishing spear and feel absolutely horrible about yourself. Why would they put this in the game? This is crazy. Here is yet another challenge I have never seen. Kill 3 airborne condrocs within 5 seconds. I initially tried doing this with a rifle and a stopwatch, and let me tell you, that ain't going so good. Turns out Ash is the key to this one, specifically for his 4th ability, Blade Storm. We're gonna let his little ninjas do the killing for us. Head to the plains of Eidolon yet again. This is a common spawn point for the condrocs, so we're gonna check there first, but ultimately we're gonna use the Trank rifle and look around until we find some.
Aye. Here we have 3 wild condrocs in a natural habitat.
Sorry about that. What we need to do is startle them so they try to fly away, then we press and hold our 4 to mark them, and then release once the last one is off the ground. Beautiful. Ash is definitely the way to go on this one. The last challenge I was able to find online is titled Complete an Incursion. Simply travel to the plains of Eidolon without a bounty queued and a mission will pop up for you. If it's anything like the incursions that pop up with the daily sorties, it will basically just be another Plains of Eidolon bounty. The last tip I wanted to share came as a suggestion from a hilarious comment from Doesn't Know. They reminded me that sometimes the challenge just isn't worth the headache, and that is when you use a Riven cipher. It will instantly complete the challenge for you, no work or headache required. If you want to purchase a Riven cipher, head to any relay. Then fast travel to Teshin. Speak to him and select Steel Path Honors. You'll be able to purchase one for 20 steel essence, but only once per week. You're not currently seeing one here because I already purchased mine for the week. Thank you for watching, and thank you to everyone that commented. Y'all have been extremely helpful.
点赞订订阅
That is absolutely right. Have a good week for me.